It is Tuesday, March 15th in the NBA, and I'm back with my best picks of the day. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling a Shot. Let's do a quick recap from yesterday, even though I hate doing these recaps because it has been a disappointing March, to say the least. A 1-3 day, losing Drew Holiday on the hook. We had his under. With Sabonis, grabbed a couple rebounds in the first couple minutes and then said, nah, I'm good. And then our lone win of the day was Trendon Watford, who cashed his over in PRAs. We added him after the slate in the pinned comment, and he cashed pretty easily for us. Keep that name on the radar. We might be betting his props for the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. But still, it's been a bad March so far, but we still got 15, 16 more days, so we're going to get back into it. If you are new to the Call on Our Shot community, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. We really would appreciate it. We're grinding towards 30,000 subscribers, and we can't do without your guys' support. Shout out again to our COS All-Stars. I appreciate all you guys for supporting the channel. Even though we've been in a little bit of a rut, we're going to get back after it because we're not going to go down. We're going to go down swinging if we have to. Our newest All-Star, Lee Burke, we appreciate you for supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot. If you want to support us, click the join button on the channel or click the link in the description or in the pinned comment, you'll see it. Now, last but not least, we've also are partnered with PrizePicks, and if you get to use code COS or use the link in the description and you deposit $100 with our code COS, you get a free $100 to play with, place or player prop parlays and whatnot. It's available in a bunch of states in the U.S., so definitely consider checking it out. They also do Taco Tuesday promos, which are cool, where they lower a guy like Kevin Durant's line from 28.5 to 23.5 or 24.5, give you a better chance of hitting if that's one of your favorite plays of the day. So definitely use code COS or the link in the description to help support us over here at Calling Our Shot as well. Let's waste no more time. Also, if you want to, we're recording the podcast tonight. If you want to drop your questions for the podcast, leave them down below in the comments. Without further ado, let's get hop into my best bet of the day. And his man, Jimmy Butler. And we're taking his under, 6.5 rebounds, minus 120 on Caesars. Now, Butler and the Heat are at home tonight, and they're coming off a bad loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves, but they're at home taking on the Detroit Pistons. They are 13-point favorites, over under 216.5 points. And honestly, the Pistons, I don't know why they keep getting a ton of points, getting 13 tonight on the road. But look, the Pistons have been great, not only winning games, but also covering. I don't know if they've missed a covering against the spread so far after the All-Star break. They might be a perfect 9 or 10-0. Maybe they lost one of them. But still, they're getting a lot of points here, and this could be a blowout. I mean, the Pistons have been covering like crazy, but they're due to get blown out one of these days. But we're here to talk about Jimmy Butler. Now, the Heat, they're about as healthy as they have been all season long. I swear, if you go to every morning to look at their injury report, normally you'd see Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, you'd see Jimmy Butler. One of those three has been on the injury report what feels like the last 3 to 4 months, but all guys are ready and active and ready to go. This is about the healthiest they've been all season long. That's why I'm going to go with the under here, because they got a lot of guys that also can grab rebounds for them. We see a guy like Adebayo. We see a guy like PJ Tucker, even Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero and those guys, they like to go grab rebounds, and we could see Butler just relaxing on the boards. Would not surprise me at all. Since the All-Star break, Butler played in 7 games. He's gone under in 5 of those games. The 5 he went under, didn't get over 4 rebounds. So it's not like he was finishing on the hook all too often. Now his 2 wins, where he went, well, his 2 losses when he did go over, were right on the hook. He had 7 rebounds in both of them. Now Butler has got under this line in 14 of his last 25 games, so not too bad conversion rate. And I also want to look at his performance with Kyle Lowry active, which is, there's the big telltale sign. Now with Lowry in the lineup, he's gone under in 18 of those 25 games. And look, you're going to see, and a lot of those games were without Adebayo too, who's going to have to grab his normal, 9, 10, 11, 12 rebounds per game. Now he averages, Jimmy Butler, that is, he averages 7.5 rebounds per game without Lowry, but with Lowry in the lineup, that number goes down to 5.4, which is great for us. Now in Butler's last 4 games against the Pistons, he had 9, 3, 4, and 6 rebounds. I haven't really played them. He only played them once this season. Hasn't played them since 2019 before then. But still, he's likely going to be matched up against Cade Cunningham, who's been absolutely ridiculous recently, and Jeremy Grant, both guys that are going to shoot a lot of threes. And also, if they are going to shoot in the mid-range, or they're going to normally drive to the paint. So I like what we got in Adebayo. The sharper books have this under at minus 160. This is a plus expected value play, and you're going to be a little bit profitable taking those long term. So we're going to be taking Jimmy Butler, best bet of the day, under 6.5 rebounds, and be riding with him. Now, that's likely going to be my only play of the day. As you can see, if you look at the slate, not all too good. It's 4 games, and I don't really love all 4 of these games, but let's talk about the other games and talk about things that I was considering. So we're going to start with the Magic versus the Nets. Now, it's always hard to bet on the Nets because is it going to be a Kyrie day? Is it going to be a Kevin Durant day? You just kind of look at your Magic ball and you're like, oh, well, I lean Kevin Durant. So I lean his over 28.5 points today. It is also a plus expected value bet, and he does have a great success rate against the Orlando Magic. Now, this game could be a blowout for all I know. I mean, It's the Orlando Magic. They've been covering more often than they probably should. I believe they're 9-point underdogs today. But look, Kevin Durant is fresh off a 50-piece versus the New York Knicks. Also, side note, we'll be back in our normal place, normal home for tomorrow's video, which is it's a good sign. We need to be back there. But still, I like Kevin Durant's over. Now, it could be a Kyrie Irving night, so likely going to stay off of both those guys. But I lean Kevin Durant. Do whatever you want with that. Now, I also looked at Mo Bamba's under. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a line. They have lines for Wendell Carter Jr., lines for Franz Wagner, but they don't have any lines for Mo Bamba. So I look at his under. I could see him getting played off the court as we see the Nets play a lot of Kevin Durant at the 4, and then obviously Andre Drummond at the 5, mixing in a couple other guys. So we could see Mo Bamba played off the court because they like to keep Wendell Carter Jr. in if they're playing against teams that only have one big man. So I like Mo Bamba's unders. Now, he did just have like, what, a 5-point and 5-rebound game after just having like 24 points or something ridiculous. So maybe he's due a bounce back game, but I like Mr. Mo Bamba's unders in that one. But let's move on to the Grizzlies versus Pacers game. Now, John Morant unlikely to play today, so that means we should see some other guys get their lines juiced up. Tyus Jones will likely play pretty well against the Pacers. I mean, the Pacers have not been a very good defensive team. I lean, though, Dillon Brooks unders. I feel like his unders will get a little too high, and he's still going to have his minutes restriction probably. And he barely hit his over last game. I think it was like 21.5 PRAs. You think he had 22 on the dot. He's going to shoot a lot, but I don't know if he necessarily hits it. I think his line will be a little bit too high. So look at Dillon Brooks. Be on the lookout for him now. Also, Steven Adams over in rebounds. Going to be an interesting one to look out for. But Steven Adams, obviously, you know, he's been up and down recently. He was on a crazy run hitting his rebounds over, but now he's been kind of up and down. I would maybe see him bounce back against a Pacers team that allows a ton of rebounds. So consider that. Jaren Jackson Jr. should play his role, but with Dillon Brooks active, who knows where all the shot opportunities are going to go. We'll see exactly if John Morant is in or out, but either way, I like both these two guys to go under and over for Steven Adams, and maybe Tyus Jones. We'll be curious what his lines end up coming out to be. But last game, we're going to talk about the Suns versus the Pelicans, and if you wanted my spread pick lean of the day, it would be the Pelicans plus the points. Now, I expect the Suns to get a large amount of the handle here, probably, I don't know, 70 to 90% of the bets are going to be on Suns spread. So maybe we see the spread go up to maybe 6.5, 7.5 points. And if it does, then maybe I'd stay off. But if they get 70, 80% of the movement, and then the line goes down to like 5.5, 5, probably a good sign that the Pelicans are going to cover this one. Now, they could get CJ McCollum back. I believe he's questionable with health and safety protocols, but normally that means he will be active. I don't see him not being active today, but you never really know. We'll see exactly who suits up for the Pelicans. But if I had to bet a player prop on this one, I was looking at DeAndre Ayton unders. But under for rebounds, that is. And normally we've seen a lot of centers struggle to rebound against Jonas Valanciunas, so would not surprise me whatsoever. Obviously, Ayton's coming off a ridiculous game with like a 16, 19 rebounds against the Lakers, so hard to really bet against that. But if I had to do a player prop on that one, I'd do Ayton's under 10.5. I think it was 10.5 rebounds this morning. But not a lot of lines for that Suns-Pelicans games naturally because they are waiting for that CJ McCollum status, so definitely stay tuned for that. Our one official play, the Jimmy Butler under 6.5 rebounds. Hopefully we can go 1-0 today if I do add an additional play. Be down below in the pinned comment. I appreciate all the COS All-Stars for their support. If you want to support us and go to PrizePicks, use code COS or use the link in the description to support us as well. Get basically a free $100 when you deposit $100. Super useful app, super cool to place your player prop parlays. I'll probably have a PrizePicks parlay either tonight or tomorrow, and I'll post it on Twitter. So follow us on our social media links down below. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's get out of the rut because I do not like making the videos all too much when we're in a rut, but we're going to get out of it eventually. Promise you on that. This has been Austin. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.